Hello, my fellow Ekko enjoyers. Before the video starts, there's a project that I want to share with all of you that I've been planning for some time now, and that's going to be my own mentorship program. It's going to be called the Elite Ekko Mastery Program, and the goal of this program is simply to have a bunch of people that are going to be working with me very frequently, and I'm going to be helping you reach your goal ranks. So the problem that I've always had, or not always, but sometimes had with coaching sessions, with like single coaching sessions, is that it kind of has mixed results. Some people, they have great results. They climb like a whole division after their session, and others, they just need multiple sessions or whatever. And I just want everyone that has this kind of investment and wants to invest in their gaming capabilities to really have like reach their goal rank. So yeah, that's the reason I want to do this. And I'm gonna make a more detailed video about this. The reason I'm doing this kind of announcement is just so I even get a feeling if there's people that would be interested in this. So you can expect to probably see this message in front of a bunch of the next couple of videos. So yeah, as I said, it will be starting with the beginning of next season. I think that's a pretty good point to start. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to start at the end of the season. So yeah, I'm gonna just say, like, I'm probably gonna add like whatever the basic overview of this kind of program is gonna be there, so you can get a feel for it. But I'm gonna make a more detailed video when the season starts. Just for now, I'm also gonna say, I think since this is gonna be something where I'm gonna be working very regularly with people, it's also gonna be have with a very limited capacity. So I would say probably around 10 people maximum. And then also, you of course need to fulfill some requirements to even join this program. You need to be able to play the game regularly. You really need to be committed to learning and this kind of stuff. But as I said, I will say all of that, or like I will save some of that just for the more structured video. So yeah, if you're like already interested in this, you can just message me on Discord. I will give you more information about it. And yeah, with that, enjoy the video. Bye. Okay, so first up, I'd just like to know, why did you decide to get the coaching session?
Um, Couple reasons really. I think I'm progressing pretty well on my Ekko gameplay. I think I'm doing pretty well, but I've kind of hit a brick wall when I got into Emerald. I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm performing reasonably well in most games, but I don't feel like I'm performing well enough to carry carry the team. Because some games I get pretty tilted
Mm-hmm.
if the team don't perform too well, um, and I do struggle to carry them, which I think is what I'm missing and why I'm struggling to climb. And I get quite frustrated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
you told me that before and as well, right? So
yeah,
I guess your goal, right? You told me it's diamond, which I told you I think is a very reachable goal. I mean, yeah, the season's not going on for that much longer, but I think your LP gains are also fine. So I think, yeah, they're actually pretty good. So should definitely be reachable. Um, I
yeah. I
guess.
think yeah. There's just a few things I need to like clean up. I think I
Mhm.
think my early game is pretty good. We'll go over it obviously, but I think my early
Yeah.
game's okay. I'm making the wrong decisions maybe sometimes when it comes to team fights and
So
later on
so
in the
would
game.
you say like closing out games is a problem?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. When I feel like I sort of perform really well in the early game, and then as the late game, like the longer the game goes on, the more of a sort of like 50-50 the game becomes, and it becomes more of a dice
Hmm.
roll. It feels like if I make one mistake, it's like, oh, we've lost.
Okay. Okay. So okay, but is it like you feel like you're just not making the plays that will push you closer to victory, or you're trying to make the plays but you're failing at making them?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. I think it's knowing what to do later on in the game to close the game out. Um, and then also sort of knowing how to end the game and what to do, and then
Hmm.
maybe sometimes making the wrong decision
Yeah.
ultimately leads to the downfall.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, over of course, generally it's for everyone. It's the same. Like it's gonna be both to some extent. What I noticed, like from my experience, is that I think most of the time people around your elo they often just don't punish nearly enough mistakes, right? Especially in the late game, you can punish so much. I'm playing basically in your elo that you're in right now. I've been playing, and what I've noticed is that people just walk in your range. Like they walk in your range when they're really not allowed to, especially like those squishy bot laners and whatever. They just step up to you too close, and
Mm.
then what I notice often with people around your elo that I coach, that they just don't punish that. So we'll see if you do actually. Like who knows, but it's definitely something I'll be like looking out for. So I guess what do you think your biggest weakness is? Maybe apart from the tilting.
I think I briefly touched on it, but the team
Mm-hmm.
fighting, I think sometimes I'm making the wrong decisions when it comes to team fighting. I think my early game and mid game's pretty good. But as the
Mm-hmm.
game progresses, I can have a really strong lead, but maybe I'm taking the wrong approach to team fights. Maybe using my W a bit too soon, not holding my W for the right moment. Um,
I think that's generally not it. Like I don't know. There might be scenarios where that is the case, but generally it's actually the opposite. Like
yeah,
trust me on that. Like generally it's really the opposite that people just don't use their W. It's almost always better to just use your W at some point early and then get the shield than to not use it and then like die because you just didn't have that shield.
yeah.
Like
I
that's a
love,
much more common scenario.
yeah. I keep having discussions with some friends about sort of my early game as well, and I'm like of the mindset at the moment that like it's just safer to, well, it's better to play safe than just rather than go for sort of risky ganks that aren't going to happen.
Hmm.
Um, and then my friends are like, "Oh, well, you need to be more aggressive and like force ganks and do this and do that." But I'm more of like a sort of sit back and farm as best I can, and then if I see an opportunity, then take it. But
Hmm.
I'm not gonna force a gank.
Look, the thing is, there's more than one way to success. I don't know if you uh, remember this whole debate with like the reactive versus proactive jungling, or if you even heard about that. With like
No.
Agurin when he reached like rank one Korea, and then people said he was like a reactive jungler, so he just reacted to plays that were happening. And then people called him out on it in a way and said like good junglers should be proactive, they should be the ones forcing the play. But he reached rank one being a reactive jungler. So the
Mm,
most important thing is like I'm gonna say like first of all in your elo it doesn't matter anyways. I think in your elo you could theoretically literally win on mechanics alone. It doesn't matter what your playstyle is, whatever. Like if you're just mechanically better, you can win anyways. And then like the other thing is just like there's so much value in just having your playstyle and like really perfecting it, and like being comfortable with your playstyle. So don't let your friends influence you. If they think you should be more aggressive, tell them like, no, bro, I will farm here. I will get my items. I know my power spikes, and I will play around them, and that's completely fine. And as I said, like especially in your elo, I think that's actually uh, by far the easiest playstyle to climb with. Like
mm,
just having more farm than your opponents, you'll be stronger. So it's just gonna make
yeah,
games very easy. So
yeah,
I definitely think that's not something you should change at all. Like even with Dark Harvest, like I think even then, even if you do play the early game a little bit passive or very consistent, Dark Harvest is still a completely fine rune, and you can often get a lot of stacks in the mid to late game with it, and it's still worthwhile.
mm,
So
yeah,
yeah, definitely not something you should see as a weakness or anything. Like as I said, I also told you before, and like the stat wise, I think your OPG looks pretty good, especially considering your elo. But yeah, I guess another thing, a little bit more okay, specific situations. You already said team fighting. I guess what in the team fighting is your problem? Like, do you feel like you're not killing the right targets, or like you die too easily? What's the problem you see there?
mm. I think like so like a bit like you said, like there's people make mistakes. Like a lot of people make mistakes. They sort of overstep. And I don't think I'm punishing those mistakes in
Hmm.
team fights. I feel like maybe the ADC might step out wrong, or maybe the support is vulnerable, and I'm not taking those opportunities. I'm just sort of standing there waiting for the fight to happen,
Okay, but
and
why?
then
Like
going.
you seem to know. Like the fact that you're able to tell me this kind of shows that you know, right? Like you could be punishing more. Is it? So are you like unconfident in your mechanics, maybe, or what's?
Yeah, maybe it's me unconfident in my. 'Cause I know how strong I can be when I'm strong. Like obviously, I know how Ekko can can one-shot Jimmy Squishies late in the game when you're full
Hmm.
build. It's like a one pop. But I just feel like I'm not doing that. I think I need to get more comfortable with I don't know,
Hmm. And
like
what do
different
you
styles.
think is the best way to get more comfortable with that?
I feel like I need to work on his like combos a little bit more, like his proto belt combo.
Okay, how are you
Maybe.
gonna work on them though?
Uh, well, I try to. I need to go on the training, the practice tool more. I think as well.
Mm,
And practice on
maybe.
there.
I mean, that's definitely one part. Like, that's definitely something you can do, and I can show you also how I or like how I started training a little bit as well. I mean, I didn't do that at first. I like what I'm trying to say is I think generally just do it in game. Like don't be scared. Just limit test in game. Try to outplay enemies and whatever, and it will you will get better. Like yeah, you might lose a game or whatever because you maybe went for an outplay and it didn't go your way, but you will learn from that, and like that's by far the easiest way to improve. It's just by limit testing and like actually going for those plays that you might be too scared to go for, and
Yeah.
like you will notice it might, as I said, like you might maybe lose a game or two or whatever, but you're probably gonna improve much faster than you think, in my experience. But I can also show you how you can maybe use like the practice tool for warm out and whatever. But the problem with practice tool, of course, is that like the targets are not moving, so it's
Yeah.
always going to be a little bit different. You can definitely practice the rocket bell combo ever to just do it quickly, but in real situations, it's going to feel very different, and so you will have to practice it in game. So I guess kind of a question that I usually didn't ask, but it's like, do you care much about your rank or not that much?
Uh, yeah. I'd say I do.
Okay.
I get pretty frustrated
Mhm.
when I lose.
Because that kind of probably ties into that, right? Like being too scared and whatever. The more you care about your rank, the more scared you are as well, usually. And
Yeah.
that's definitely something that holds you back.
Yeah. I think the reason I get so tilted is because I like I don't know. I feel like I perform like reasonably well, and that sometimes the game can be like the game should almost be like a guaranteed win, right? Like
Hmm.
I'm mega fed, the team are doing well, and then I'll make one mistake, and then the game will like flip on its head, and the
Hmm.
enemy team will suddenly be really, really strong, and then within 5 minutes they'll end, and I'll be like, how the fuck have we just lost? And there the
Yeah.
game really tilt me, and then I'm
Mm.
just in a bad mood for the rest of the evening, and then I'll go on to lose like
Yeah,
four
that's
games.
when you need to stop playing, honestly, usually. But like I'm saying this as someone that's probably in the exact same boat. I'm of course right now I'm just not in an emotional state, so I can say this, but it's like for sure it's something I've suffered from a lot myself. And I think a big thing, like a big mistake that I've personally also done in the past is like taking too much responsibility at that point. Like if you played the whole game well and then you made one big mistake in the end, it feels like it feels really bad, of course, because it was kind of in your hand, but like there's no point beating yourself up, over that. Like there is really none. And that's like a big thing I personally need to work on, or like I mean I have not even been in this situation yet, but like it's
Yeah,
really a bad thing to beat yourself up over that, because if you played the whole game perfect and made one big mistake and you were like carrying your 0-10 top laner the whole time, like really
yeah,
don't like it's just not productive in the
yeah.
slightest.
It's
So
just so frustrating. It's like when you're in like a 40-minute game and then you miss a smite on the
100%.
on the Baron, and it's like, oh,
Yeah,
this
it
should have been a
hurts.
win.
It hurts, especially the longer the time investment, the more it hurts. Like
Yeah,
100%. I
for
can
sure.
completely relate. So I guess like last question is like, are there some bad habits or like common mistakes you've noticed in your gameplay?
Uh, yeah. One thing I struggle with is if there's an early game, if I'm against an early game jungler like a Lee Sin or something, or one thing I'm having a rough time with at the moment is Shaco. I'm starting to ban Shaco a lot more.
Interesting.
Um,
Okay.
'Cause if there's a good Shaco on the enemy team, I just want to pull my hair out. I had one earlier today, kept invading me, and I was so behind, and I'm like, oh, I just don't know what to do.
You won that game though. No.
Yeah, I think so, maybe.
Yeah. You
But
lost
it's
one to Lee
just,
Sin, but you won against Shaco.
yeah, it's just if the early game in jungle like invade, like say I'm clearing like bot side and then I path the top and I'm doing blue and then they invade me and kill me, it's just like
Hmm.
I'm just like, oh, game's over. I'm behind, and it just ruins my whole mindset for the game just after like one
Hmm.
invade. So I feel like it really screws me over, but I know it shouldn't.
Okay. Yeah, that's also a very common thing I've heard. Like people not being able to play around invades, and like yeah, there are like certain champs that can definitely bully you. The like there's multiple parts to it. Like sometimes you might just have to actually give up the camp, but oftentimes, especially in your elo, like you will be able to outplay if you just stay calm. Just stay calm, especially like champs like Lee Sin or whatever. Imagine you just dodge his Q, you throw your Q at him and whatever, you can for sure trade with him, and like you might not be able to actually kill him on your own, but since he is invading you, your laners should have the priority to move. Like yes, I understand. Like in Emerald, whatever, like, people sometimes they just don't move and stuff, and it's can be another whole like thing of frustration, of course. But in general, like it's whenever I'm smurfing or whatever, and I get invaded by these kind of champs, I outplay them. So there is obviously the opportunity to outplay them. You just need to really not panic. Just because someone invades you doesn't mean it's good. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
And like a big thing, of course, is just expecting it. You say you're playing against champions like Shake and whatever. Just always expect that they will be invading you, and then as soon as you expect that, you're just half as like vulnerable already, because you know that you might have to react, and maybe in some situations that makes you hold your spells or whatever. Like sometimes you might just hold your E so you can escape, or you're just not using your W on certain camps even in the early game because you might expect the Shaker to be in your face, and then these kind of decisions they can help you to outplay. But yeah, it's too specific to really talk about beforehand, honestly. So if you want, we can take a look at one of those games and see what exactly happened there.
Yeah, we can have a look at the Shaco invade if you want to.
Yeah, but let me go into OPGG first. Talk about that a little bit. So I'm gonna share my screen. Tell me when you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as I said, stat-wise, looking pretty good. Like, yeah, I mean the CS could for sure be more towards the 8, but like especially in this amount of games, and like considering your elo, I would say 7 is a very reasonable number, honestly. And I mean, I think the meta overall has shifted more in a way where you do farm a little bit more, or it's often gets rewarded more to farm. But overall, I think still, as I said, 7 is completely fine. It's not like you're sacrificing your kills or whatever. If you have 9 to 10 kills on average, it's pretty good. Devs could be a little bit lower, but this is also not problematic. Like it's something that can be improved, but I don't think it should be your focus. Dying less, of course, is very much about knowing limits and like making the right decisions, but it's also about mechanics. So it's kind of hard to tell from the OPGG alone what exactly is causing your deaths. Like oftentimes, for example, high deaths can also mean that like your W usage maybe isn't that good or something. But as I said, I don't think 5 average deaths is too high. Like it's pretty average, I would say. Item building wise, I would say like this here. Okay, against Kayn, I can see it. Against Kayn, you're allowed to build Zhonya's. In this game, for example, I don't think Zhonya's has good value. I'd much rather see you build like a Lich Bane or a Void Staff last item here.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah, I think I was just buying it because I keep getting killed by the Shaco, so at the end I was
But
like,
is it actually gonna help you? That's what, because I see this so much where people buy Zhonya's into these champions that have DPS. Like Shaco is just gonna beat you up after you come out of the Zhonya's. Like for this situation that you're imagining in your head where he's like jumping on top of you and you Zhonya's and whatever, like don't you think he's just gonna, wait next to you and then kill you?
Yeah.
The only reason to buy Zhonya's is like against actual assassins, that blow their whole combo and then you can dodge that, but that's just not really the case with a champ like Shaco. Like he will just, if he's in a really disgustingly fat position where he actually one taps you, then the Zhonya's just not gonna save you. Especially Shaco is especially illegal because I think he can literally just place a W on top of you and then you're just gonna come out feared.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not sure if it actually triggers that quickly, but it could definitely be the case. So yeah, I think the only 2 champs that you really should buy it against consistently is Kayn and Rengar. And then Kha'Zix, maybe, if there's like other champs, and like maybe like a Fat Zed or whatever, you can also buy it against, but those are like the champs, because imagine like a Rengar jumps on top of you, you use Zhonya's, especially if there's no brush next to you, he's just fucked, like for the most part, unless he's really fat. And then with the Kayn, for example, against Kayn also only against blue Kayn in my opinion. I don't think against red Kayn it's worth. But against blue Kayn, the ult, it deals like tons of damage, and being able to Zhonya's that is for sure very valuable. So I think in those matchups it's definitely good, but yeah, I think Shaco is definitely not one where it makes a lot of sense to buy. And then also another thing with that is also the fact that most people just don't use the Zhonya's very well anyways around your elo,
Yeah.
realistically.
Whenever I buy it, I always forget I have it anyway.
Okay, so then that's
It's
like
not
a
very
big reason to really stop buying it. Honestly, like just buy more damage. Like buy more damage, play aggressive, and you'll see how much more you can get done. Honestly,
Yeah.
but yeah. Other than that, I don't think there's many big things that need to be talked about in your OPGG. Do you always go red smite?
Yeah. I think that's what everyone's building at the moment.
Yeah,
So.
I think red smite is the best one. I mean, that's the only one that didn't get nerfed when all the smites got nerfed. So I think most people actually have started agreeing on it being the best. And then I also told you, right? Like just pick one rune setup to play. Don't switch it up too much, because there is a lot of value in just learning your limits with a certain rune setup and like learning your power spikes and this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess another thing I always like to look at is the League of Graphs, of course. Yeah, we can see. Like I told you, I think if you just keep playing, you should be on your way to diamond, and this is kind of visible by the fact that you're above average in like every aspect. You're not like insanely above average, but you're slightly above average, which is just an indicator that you should be able to climb if you just play enough. I guess like the most on average is like the kill participation. This just kind of means that you can probably make more happen on your own. You know, that's what kill participation usually means. Like kill participation doesn't even really mean that you need to participate in like team fights and whatever. It just means that, you know, like your share of the kills on the team can be higher. So and most of those kills that can be like higher are like from your own, like from you getting like solo picks and this kind of stuff. I guess duels win rate is pretty good actually. Can of course be higher, but I like this is definitely a positive thing, I would say. So it means kind of means that you don't go for too many fights that you're losing, I guess, or like you're not picking too many fights. It still means, of course, that like 4 out of 10 fights, but like of course, not every duel that you are in is one that you picked, right? Like if a Wrangler jumps at you, it doesn't mean that you picked it. But still, I would say there's a positive thing. Actually, the team fights win rate is kind of low, I have to say. But that's actually what you told me, right? You feel like in team fights you're not really able to make the difference.
Yeah.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, is a W something you feel like you get a lot of good Ws in team fights?
I think the placement needs to be better.
Because that's of course a big way in which you can have like massive impact. Like the good Ws and good ults are of course like the highlight plays, ways to make the difference in team fights. So if those are on point, then yeah, definitely big. Oh, that's interesting actually. I mean, it's also kind of what you told me, right? You play the early game a little bit slow, so that's why you're below average here for the kill participation, but you do pick it up after like 10 minutes, so definitely, I'm definitely very curious to see. The thing is, it's a bit of a two-edged sword, this statement of saying that it's good to play passive, because of course, if you can generate more gold by killing someone or whatever, it is for sure better, you know? It's like if they're super free kills and you constantly leave them up, then maybe go for like more and like really learn your limits. As I said again, like you really need to learn your limits then. But overall, I think with a scaling champ like Ekko, it's not a super bad playstyle to go for the more consistent plays. It's again like jungling is so much about like finding a good balance between it, honestly. And we'll see. Like maybe a problem for you is that you just don't look at the lanes enough or whatever. You just don't even have the info. That's a very common thing I see with people in your elo. What I just saw here is like this actually. How's your like? How are you struggling so much against Diana? Like no joke.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, that's definitely crazy. Kha'Zix
Wow.
is also quite low. Like Kha'Zix is a matchup where you just need to respect, honestly. And like at this point, I don't think Kha'Zix is even that broken anymore. So this is also a bit problematic, but this is even more like the fact that your Diana win rate is this low. Like look at Diana's win rate as well, by the way. I just looked at that earlier. Like, that champ is just so awful. You should never be losing consistently to her. And it's so easy, you know, like I don't know, all of these melee champs, what you need to do is just throw your Q at them, apply stacks, go for short bursts with your E proc passive, and you just win, you know? And then you do the same thing again if they stay in your range, basically. Like, this champ is not one where you should have such a bad win rate against, but kind of hard to see, of course. Then yeah, this is good. Like, this is exactly how these graphs need to look, honestly. This is a bit of a problem, though. For the fact that this is good, and for the fact that you also say, I guess, okay, I guess that actually kind of makes sense since you don't seem to be getting too many kills early. This like first item power spike is not going to be very quick, you know. It's probably going to be quite consistently at around this time, but you're not going to have many games where you have it like at 8 minutes or whatever because you got a bunch of kills.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a reason why you should maybe look to get more kills. Because of course Ekko is not only a very good scaling champ, he's also a very good snowballing champ. So it's just really what you want to lean more into, you know. And I would say that the more confident you are in your mechanics, the better it is to lean into the scaling. Because then, if you're just confident you're gonna be able to win the game with 3 items, then you can of course focus on that. But if you, as you told me, you're not like super confident in like making the difference in team fights and this kind of stuff, then maybe look to coin flip, let's say, a little bit more. And like, of course, a lot of these things are not even going to be coin flips. You just need to be able to identify when there are actual opportunities. So yeah, this definitely, like, this is not super problematic or anything, but considering the fact that you say you have like a good early game, this definitely needs to be a little bit quicker. Yeah, these things, nothing to worry about. And this is actually good. I have started looking out for these pings and whatever. So it seems like you do communicate with your team, which is a very positive thing in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's something where I often saw in my recent coachings is that like people are way below average here. So it's actually a very good thing. And very underrated as well, I would say. You really need to communicate with your team.
Yeah, definitely.
This is also very good. You don't even surrender ever, basically. He never gives up, it says. No, that's a good thing. Yeah, I mean, actually, you told me you tilt, but it's like, well, it seems like if you lose a lot of games, you get motivated. Also interesting. Yeah, but this is of course not Ekko only, and this is another thing for climbing, of course. Yeah, don't play so many different champs, and especially drop shit like Nidalee and whatever. It's like it's not
Yeah,
doing
I've
you
got to
any
say,
favors.
I'm not touched those champions in
Okay.
ages. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it's actually not even that many. I coached someone earlier who had like 63 champions played this season, so 16 is definitely it's not a lot. I guess there is like maybe I don't know if you enjoy playing Vi or whatever. Probably not, but like any of these AD champs or whatever, it's definitely not a bad idea to pick up an AD champ in your pool as well, in case like AP is really troll or you just I don't know,
I
you
always
just feel like
switch
AD is
get Ekko
better.
first usually, which is quite good.
Yeah, you always switch to pick Ekko first. It's
Yeah,
definitely
always.
making some games harder for you.
Do you think?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, I don't know how much people really counterpick, but like in my elo, when I early picked Ekko, oftentimes you just have to play against too much CC, you know. Like games where okay, like I'm confident enough in my ability that even in my main elo, if I play against 0 CC, I'm very confident I can just 1v9 the game, you know. Because that Ekko is just so unfair if he doesn't get CC'd and if you don't make like any big mistakes in the early game. So always first picking, yeah, sure, if you know you want to play Ekko, it's definitely nice. And like if someone asks you, you can of course switch with them, but I don't think you should actively be switching every single time. It's definitely gonna lose you a game every now and then, or like definitely make it more difficult for sure. So I guess we can do like two different things. Either we look at a game that you've played already before, and then I can already give you some advice, and you go into a live game with that, or you go into a live game and then we review that afterwards. It's your choice.
We can go into a live game.
Okay. So I guess if we go into a live game, I'll mostly let you play your own game and take notes, and then afterwards we talk about it. Yeah, just share your screen and share like the screen and not the application so I can see your mouse. Okay, you did that.
Oh,
It's good. No, you did.
is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm still torn between First Strike and Dark Harvest, but
I think honestly, like Dark Harvest probably better at this point. I don't know. First Strike is just so nerfed, and even the small runes got nerfed quite hard. So I don't know. Although, of course, since your playstyle is kind of, as you said, like a little bit more passive, maybe the Dark Harvest really is not that great for you.
yeah.
We'll see though, but maybe that's something you actually just need to improve on as well, though. It's kind of going back on what I said earlier with just like finding your playstyle and perfecting it. But of course, if you're really too passive, then it's something you need to change a little bit. We'll see. As I said, it's very hard to see this kind of stuff from OPGG alone. Okay, actually, I need to see what's Kazakh's win at right now. Is he even worth banning? I mean, definitely for okay. He seems to be still S plus tier, so yeah. I mean, ban him, and especially if you see him often in your elo. Wow, he's actually how did he rise up again so much? I feel like he was doing quite badly for some time. Never mind. No, he was
Like
just always good.
Yeah, the new champion's really strong as well.
Yeah. Man, the
Really
fact that they overbuffed that champ just because some bronze players cried about the fact that he had 10 abilities is so funny.
Yeah,
And you have the $200 skin.
I got it on my first chest.
No way. That's
Mm.
dumb.
Yeah, I definitely didn't spend 200, 200 on it.
Dumb.
Actually, I didn't even like it that much, to be fair.
Yeah, I've heard people say that it's not even that good.
Yeah.
I mean, it does look nice, but it's definitely not worth 200.
No, definitely not. Jarvan's pretty strong at the moment.
Is he?
Get nerfed.
I think the Ekko Jarvan matchup is also is kind of easy for Ekko, honestly. Though, just need to make sure not to get knocked up, and you have all the tools for that, you know. Now Jarvan is actually not even that good right now.
Yeah.
I think he got nerfed quite hard some time ago. Yeah, he's been D tier for some
Wow.
two patches, I guess. I mean, D tier still means like 49% win rate, but that's definitely not great. Yeah, don't be scared of him or anything like that.
Yeah.
Lethal tempo Jarvan as well. Interesting. Like that's like the only reason you would take lethal tempo on Jarvan is into tanks, I guess, where you actually auto attack a lot. But your team is probably the squishiest team this guy's played against all month.
That was Headed Blades Echo.
Oh, I like it a lot. I mean, I think it's even viable in jungle, honestly.
Yeah, it looks like
It's
like
kind
fun.
of yeah, it's kind of similar to electrocute, and I also like electrocute. It's just it really helps you early, and then in a way it just makes your gameplay smoother. Oh, you actually have to restart stream. Never mind, I can't see your mouse anymore. Just like start it with screen capture, not like application. Yeah.
Is that
Okay.
better?
Yeah.
I stopped.
You should buy the potion. You should buy it. I looked at the win rates. I didn't think it would be that massive, but it's like literally 7% higher win rate if you buy the potion or something.
Wow.
Yeah. I also really didn't think it would be that massive, but it does seem to be quite massive.
Yeah, I was buying it before and then I stopped because I heard that it wasn't really worth it. It was wasted gold, but
Yeah, but I think not buying it is just greedy, and you need to think about like the situations where this 120 HP or whatever you gain from it is actually gonna make the difference in the early and like saving your life or whatever.
yeah.
So I think it's just good. But yeah, as I said, I'll be a little bit more quiet during the game, so you can like make your mistakes that you would normally make, and then we'll uh, go about it after the game. I'll not be like completely silent, but I really want you to make the mistakes you would normally make, of course, because otherwise
It'll
it's gonna be
prob-
difficult to learn.
yeah, it'll probably be a perfect game with
Yeah,
no mistakes.
yeah, hopefully. No, but I mean that's actually not good for you, of course.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay, I guess I mean I could ask you, what's your game plan?
Uh, Good question.
Ah, that's a
Uh,
question you should always be asking yourself.
yeah. One thing I know I should be doing, but I'm not. I'm just casually farming. I should be thinking about the game.
Hmm.
Well, I'm pretty pathing top side. I usually clear chickens and then look for a gank mid if
Mhm.
there's an option. If not, I'll
Yeah,
gank top.
that's a fine game plan. I think you could have ganked mid here, by the way.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, and this is the kind of stuff you need to find out, by just trying. Because I believe you could, because I have a lot of experience playing the game, But if you never go for these kind of like ganks, then you will never find out if it's gonna work. And I think
Yeah,
he was 75% or something, and super overextended, so you would have probably at least gotten his flash.
yeah. I just sometimes worry that like it's not going to be a kill because he has flash. So obviously I'm going to get the flash, but
Yeah,
then I
but
expose my I expose.
that's not even a huge investment. Yeah, sure, you're
Yeah,
gonna show mid, but like any good player would expect you to be where you are anyways. Like they know you're full clearing, they know you have a short timing window to gank somewhere. It's not like you're gonna lose anything for it.
yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, that was one thing I always with my W's as well. I'm tracing them just too preemptively. I need to hold them.
No, 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 that's fine. I was completely fine the way you used it. Really. Actually, no, stop, stop, stop. Just get the blasting wand. Just get the blasting wand. Go on that for it is worth.
Okay. Oh my God.
Okay, was good, but okay. No, I'm not gonna say too much. Gonna just tell you after.
He's dead, right?
Mm.
Ah, fuck.
And there's no way he's just recalling there with 1 HP.
That's my fault. I wasn't paying attention. I probably could have killed him.
Yeah, definitely. If you had just looked there, you know, you probably could have seen that he would go for that dive.
Oh my god. Cancelled my back.
But buy a second one as well.
Yeah, I try not to go into debt too much because I used to do it all the
Yeah,
time.
it's fine though. It's fine. Like, yeah, it's better if you have first strike because then you're basically investing in yourself, being able to get more gold. But I think it's still fine. Like in this situation, you're in a well enough spot that you can do something with it. Can for sure look if this guy's gonna dive again and maybe punish him this time.
I kind of have to go bot though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you should like hover this guy the whole time. I'm just saying see if he's making a mistake. Jesus. I mean, this is definitely not what you should have done. I'm sure you can tell yourself here.
Yeah. Damn. It's unfortunate.
No, I think now don't go on that. Don't go on that for like HP. Only for AP.
Yeah. I feel like I would have gone bot there. I think I forced that mid a little bit too much. I should have gone bot.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh. Nice.
Definitely should have invaded him here. Like that was such a free invade. And understand that invading is so valuable, especially in this current meta. I think even invading before you do Herald here, like even after you had so much time because we even knew that he was doing Drake.
Yeah, for sure.
People overcomplicate invading so much as well. Like, it's so much about just going for the most obvious invades ever when you have full info. You know, like we had full info that this guy was just not gonna be in his topside jungle. You don't need to have any reads on the map or anything for that. You just know that you're gonna get it.
Should I help? Hmm. Nice. Oh, no way.
Just place it. Like you need to place it anyways.
Hmm. Hmm.
Good job.
Hmm. Damn.
Yeah. No, I wrote down before you even started the herald. It's gonna be a risky herald. We had no info on the, or like we actually had info that they were all gonna be able to move, and then we had no info on Jarvan. So this was definitely not
Yeah.
worth. You had a big shutdown, and
Yeah.
especially the second herald. You know, it's really not worth that much.
Yeah. I knew we hadn't seen him. I just didn't think he would come to the river because there was no scout or there was no vision.
Yeah,
So
also, I don't think you should be going in that tier anymore. Like, not for this item. I don't think it's worth. You
no.
really like.
Oh,
Okay, well,
yeah.
too late. I mean,
Yeah.
you went in that like 5 times already. That's definitely a lot.
Yeah. Where are you gonna go, my friend?
You can see you're quite strong, at least.
Hmm.
Where did you base?
I think it was faster. I don't know
Uh,
though.
you definitely could have achieved more by staying on the map.
Yeah.
I think also the Crocs were actually up, so you could have invaded those.
I need some vision. Oh, Jesus. What the?
Uh, I don't know if that was worth, to be honest.
Yeah, probably not.
It's like the Cloud Drake's just not gonna be that impactful this game. I mean, it's a solid Drake. I think it's underrated, but I don't know.
Yeah, I thought I could survive. To be fair, I didn't think my whole team
I
was
mean,
there, but
as long as they don't get anything, it's okay, I guess.
yeah. Wow, Galio is strong.
And yet you keep fighting him. Like, it's definitely something I wrote down. Is just like, I don't know, learn from your experience. You know, like the first time is excusable that you fight him, find out like that he's gonna beat you, but you fought him like 3 times after that as well, and every single time he just beat you up. So I think from now on, I'm just gonna give you advice: just stay away from him. You know, there's more than enough people that you can kill. Basically, everyone else.
Yeah.
Maybe Fiora is also not the easiest one to kill, but the other ones just make them your targets. You know, get fed on them, especially the bot lane.
Oh my god. Damn.
Indecision cost you a lot here, honestly. If you just decided to either commit on the Fiora or commit to the Nash, like as a team, then it would have turned out much better.
Yeah. I mean, we can do Nash because the team.
Yeah, I don't think Nash was the right call, honestly. I think it's too
Yeah.
early, and you're kind of far away as well. But now you kind of just didn't get anything, you know. I think you could have at least gotten the mid tower or something.
Oh, I didn't need to flash.
Damn.
He's one lucky guy. Mm. Oh, hit the Drake. No, he knocked me off my E.
Ah,
Ah, goddamn.
let's try. I think, I don't know, maybe there was like a old opportunity somewhere in there
Yeah,
before you left like the pit. I think somewhere there you could have hit the Jarvan, whatever. I mean, I know it might seem like unintuitive when you're still kind of healthy, but oftentimes if you do get that big burst with your ult, it's also good, of course,
yeah,
if you can actually hit it. And then, like in the end, you could see like they were not gonna let you hit your ult for free there because it's super obvious, of course, that you want to ult at some point.
yeah.
You've stolen like every Drake that you have. Kind of funny.
I'm usually pretty bad at stealing Drakes.
Yeah, it definitely. Wait, the Sivir is 2 and 4 and just had a 450 gold shutdown as well.
Nice farm though.
Yeah, I guess that's why she has a shutdown. Wow. Okay, you can see
Oh.
like just let the Aphelios deal with this guy. Holy shit, he just shredded him.
What's this?
Mhm. Nice, good job.
Baron or push? Baron or push? Oh no.
Always Baron. I mean,
Oh, holy moly.
just do Baron and then you push after. I don't know what the Nami is doing. I mean, it's fine, but yeah, just get the banshees. The yeah, you know what I mean, white stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and get the blighting drill. It's actually a good item nowadays.
Okay.
Used to be really bad, but now that it's only 1.1k, it's actually pretty solid.
It's the part of the game where I'm like, I don't really know what to do. Just sort of run
See,
around
like
like
how do
idiots.
you end the game? You knock down the towers. That's what you do. You know, like bot lane tower is where the tier 2 tower is still standing, so just go there and like yeah, don't split up too much. I don't think you should 1-3-1 right now. Definitely look bot. See what's going on there. Yeah. Like this guy should just not be left alone there.
Yeah. This guy's not having a good day.
Yeah. How is it possible that you got Nash, but like the enemies, it feels like the enemies are the one pushing the buttons, you know? It's like you need to
Yeah.
just group up and do something. You're in a really good position. You just saw like the last team fight went in your way quite easily, honestly. If nobody else is pushing, you just need to be doing it. Doesn't matter that you're the jungler. And Ekko is very good at it.
This is a bad play.
You also have soul point here. See, Pantheon is kind of flanking a little bit. Okay. Just go bot, you know, like just get the bot tower. No, stay. You have rep. You don't have rep buff, but still stay. No, you do have rep buff.
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
Playing with fire.
Uh-oh. Oh! I'm being carried.
You can actually end here. I mean, just one-shot the Sivir when she wants to do something. Or maybe you don't have the wave.
Where did the tower go?
Oh god.
Uh,
Just get the inhib, so don't throw. I was gonna write down, like, definitely look to get the jungle here, because that's also how you're gonna make sure that this guy has no way of getting back into the game.
yeah, there's nothing worse than coming out of base to an empty jungle.
Yeah. And now, very obvious, right? You just go top. You get the last tower. And, like, the thing is, you know, just imagine you're in the position of them. It's so annoying because the whole time in the mid and bot lane, the big minions will just keep pushing, you know, so people will have to go there. So that's why getting towers is winning the game, because you're automatically gonna create numbers advantages, you know.
Yeah.
It's just how it's just gonna happen. And if nobody's gonna def, then the big minions will literally just kill the Nexus towers. This is a very basic macro, and like it's very basic macro that people just don't play. And at this point, you really need to stop being even with a tiny bit. Yeah, like don't be scared of him at all. You're 3 levels up on him, you will literally beat him up. He has very little MR. You shouldn't be scared of anyone at this point, honestly. Look.
Damn.
But of course, not being scared does not mean you need to overcommit into everything.
Yeah.
Like rocket belting, flashing, whatever on the. No, you didn't flash, but like doing that on the Fiora is definitely overcommit. Just like take the small win, the fact that you just chunked her to 1 HP, and then go again next rotation. You know, don't go
Yeah.
like under the tower and out attack her and whatever and take too much damage.
Yeah, I think I got a bit greedy. I don't know why the whole team wasn't top though.
Yeah, I guess
Weird.
just ping. You know, like ping hard in these situations when you see your team not moving. Just ping hard on the towers. At least their fella's got some stuff done in mid lane. I guess buy a potion as well here. No, I don't think you should sell it. Just buy a potion. It's gonna be the biggest power spike for the Nash, and then you get Nash and you should be able to end.
What would you buy next? Shadowfang.
Probably Lichban.
Japan.
Yeah. I love having Lichban and Nashers together. So yeah, I mean, look if you can upgrade the Magi's, I guess. But if not, then just... Or, I mean, I guess Lichban is probably stronger. Anyways, it's just more expensive. It's definitely risky, the fact that... But, like,
Wow.
the Jarvan's not even looking, I guess. Yeah, at this point, just run into their base. Wait. Kill this guy.
should be a GG. Yeah.
Yeah, just go
We
top
got
at this point. I mean, you should have just eat the tower. It's like literally one E will kill it at this point. Oh, Elder's up. I guess you need to go to Elder. Otherwise, yeah, you really need to go there. It's gonna spawn. I think you can get the Magus as well. Yeah, just get the Magus. Good thing about Magus is it's also gonna give you 5 magic pen from the mythic passive, you know? From your rocket belt, because it counts as a legendary.
Okay. I didn't even realize.
Yeah. That's why Magus is a very solid item, especially for snowballing. Getting those 5 magic pen earlier, like especially in the as a second or third item, it can be very impactful. Okay.
GG.
Should just be an FF vote coming through now.
You think?
Yeah. Done.
Nice.
I am a time traveler. Nice. Okay. No, very solid game. I think for you, it's like honestly, the biggest thing, like you have so many, like I think for you, it's very easy to build on what you have going on because you have the consistent stuff going on already. It's just like you need to look for more impact, honestly. I used to be very similar to you in a way, where I would lose these kind of games where I have like good stats and whatever because I just didn't have enough impact, you know. But also
Yeah.
mechanically, whatever, I think you're easily diamond level. It's very. That's really not the problem. It's just that you don't have enough confidence, and I guess not just that, you just don't even look for the kind of plays. And I think, as I said, the best way to just get better at that is by trying it out, and we'll go over that. So yeah, I wrote a lot of things down as well. Gonna share my screen. It's definitely a good game to learn from, even though you had good stats and stuff. Let me actually see damage. Yeah, see, like damage-wise, for example, even though you had good stats, you were not even, you were like, you still got carried a little bit, right, by some of your teammates. Not like carried, you definitely pulled your weight, but your team, like, you were not the star of the show, I guess. Which you don't have to be every game, of course, but you were in a position to be the star of the show, let's say, with the stats you had early game, you know? So it's really about, I guess that, yeah, I wrote down like a bunch of general notes. Is like, first of all, smaller things, like don't let your camps reset so often. It happened a bunch of times early game.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that too much.
Yeah, then another thing is like don't use your rocket belt so like loosely, I guess. You know, like there's some situations where you just use it because you were scared, you know, and it achieved literally nothing. You didn't dodge anything with it. You just kind of used it preemptively, even in a way, you know. So like really use it reactively and use it with purpose, I guess. And then in general, just like be more decisive. There's a bunch of situations where you were just really indecisive with your decisions, and then it cost you a lot, you know. And in the same thing as well is also just like push your advantages more, you know. Like that's how you're gonna win a lot more games, you know. Like as I said, the basics for you are there. There's a lot of things you're doing right. You could be pushing more, and that's how you're gonna win more games. More of those games where you are doing fine stats wise and whatever, but you're just not able to win the game. Okay, that's interesting that you worded there. And then another thing, actually, yeah, another thing that kind of ties into the pushing advantage is you recall too much. Like, I don't think I've ever said this to anyone in any coaching session, but you recall a lot. Like, you recall a lot with very little gold. Like, most of the time it's the opposite, where people just stay on the map too long with too much gold. But for you, it's like, there were a lot of recalls that were just kind of unimpactful and unnecessary, especially.
Yeah.
And then I guess, yeah, like learn from your experience as well. This word actually really good. I don't know if you may ever saw that me saying that or whatever, that you need to do that against Draven, but yeah, I definitely think you need to do that. It's a good word.
Yeah, I tend to do it every game, really.
Yeah. Okay, I think you don't need to do it every game, but you need to do it against champions that can go over this wall at level 2, you know? So Jarvan can do it, Kindred, Graves. These are the matchups where you need to word this, and then there's certain matchups where you might be expecting that they invade you, then you ward here.
Yeah.
Let's say like
Okay.
Lee Sin or Yi or whatever, they might sometimes invade you, so then it's not a bad idea to ward there. And then I guess the last thing, especially for the late game, is just like, and I will show this on the gameplay, like get into more positions where you can look to even punish the enemies, you know? Like get into
Yeah.
more aggressive positions. I will give you examples in the later stages of the game. Okay, so here already, it's like you looked mid once, I remember, and then now you already made the decision to not even go there, you know? I think
Yeah.
you right before you started the camp, you looked here, you saw that this guy is actually kind of like, okay, he's not low, but look where he's standing, you know? He'll for sure have to flash.
Yeah.
So he is for sure punishable here. Especially like Vega, right? He just places his cage and whatever, then
Yeah.
what's this guy gonna do? And then here, like, we see that this guy is at around 75%.
Yeah.
But you
I should
already
have.
made the decision that you're gonna keep clearing here instead of ever ganking. You know, so just like one more look here, and then you have better information, and you can make the decision to maybe actually gank there. So I think this is for sure gankable.
Yeah.
You will probably get a Dark Harvest deck. You will make him low, and you will also especially help your Veigar out quite a bit here, right? He is struggling. He got hit by absolutely everything. So yeah, you probably don't kill him, especially since we just saw he has bone plating and stuff. But for sure, you could have just done something there, and it wouldn't have cost you much. You know, as I said in game already, it's not like you're showing your cards by showing mid here. Not really. You know, like people know
Yeah.
that you're just clearing these camps. You're around here, or they should know. And yeah, so it's really not a big deal. And here I remember in game you really weren't looking top ever. So that's also what I've been saying a lot of times before. When you're around here, like, or when you're crossing here, so you already made the decision you're not going mid lane, but then you need to make the next decision. Do I actually go into the jungle or do I go straight top? And you didn't even have that as your option because you didn't look top, you know? So
Yeah. I
yeah,
usually always
probably.
play top.
I mean, yeah, you maybe saw on the minimap she's quite far back and whatever, but if she's so yeah, that makes it more unlikely that you will actually gank there. But if she's really low, then you will still gank there, you know. But if you don't even look there, you won't know if she's actually low. So yeah, that's definitely a thing. Then here, I think, yeah, you started looking top. I mean, you actually got her. Yeah, I think starting to recall here after she kind of backed off was definitely the right thing. But she for some reason decided she needed to ward this, so she actually got punished. And then yeah, I think this W was good. Like, did she even see it? I wonder. Did she even see you place it? I think probably this spotted you, but I'm not sure.
Mm.
Let's see. No, I didn't. So that was actually a really good W then. The fact that you placed it. So you said it was too early, but I think it was exactly right. You need to be
Yeah.
placing it right away. And especially if you can from out of vision. Also very good that you didn't. This is why I'm saying, like, there's so many things you're doing right. For example, you're not throwing a random Q in here and ruining this guy's wave state. He's kind of ruining it himself, honestly. You should just be basing, in my opinion. He probably just wants like more gold to buy something. Yeah, he probably wants to buy the Serrated Dirk or something, but yeah, not now he's basing. But that's good, you know. You don't make these kind of mistakes. So that's not like a big thing you need to be working on. It's just really like having more impact, especially in the positions that you're in. Okay, here definitely good. You know, you actually did go for the play. It's not like what I would have imagined from what you told me before the game is that you just clear this and then if anything you look for a play. But going for a bot play here when they're looking like this is 100% correct because they're very killable here. It's just here you were quite indecisive. You know, look how much time you're spending in here. You should already be walking here. You know, always walk here in these situations, and then place your W earlier. You know, like, because now you can see that they see you. They will see you place your W, but they don't need to. You could have just been in here, placed a W, and then they have much less time to react to it. Yeah, it still worked out because she got hit by absolutely everything. But still, you know. And then actually very good that you proc the spell shield so she gets stunned. Very nice. Now you just go back to jungling. That's fine. Okay, yeah, here, I guess, wait, let's see. Okay, yeah. honestly, like, you just didn't look that this guy was on 1 HP, so that's why you didn't expect that this guy would go for a dive. And now as soon as you see this, yeah,
Yeah.
you already used your E, which is a little bit unfortunate. Let's see. Yeah, very, yeah, see, like, if you had looked, you wouldn't have used your E, and you could have just eat
Yeah.
over the wall and punished him.
Yeah.
Definitely punished for not getting the info that you could have gotten. Like, here I was even thinking if you maybe can follow him with flash, you know, like, you will get your E up again. And this guy probably, yeah, even as a shutdown, so flashing for him would for sure be worth, but I don't know. I guess especially with the plant, you probably would have missed out. And then you actually recalled there. It's kind of greedy. And here, I don't know if you even showed, but if you showed, then that was definitely a small mistake as well. Yeah, I think you showed.
Yeah.
I mean, never mind. They saw you here anyways. So yeah, but still, like, no matter what, you should not be showing here. Okay, you didn't actually. Well, this kind of showed if they actually had their
Okay.
stuff there,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's not worth, you know. If you're not looking to take
I like
anything,
that.
don't show. But they had
Yeah.
full info on you here anyways because of the wards. So in this scenario, it didn't matter. Ah yeah, and here again. Okay, here I wrote this down. Look top before basing, and like I didn't know in game because you didn't look top, but this guy's on 1 HP. You know, this is a
Yeah.
perfect. This is a very good scenario where you could just be lane ganking. Like, it's super good. Because, first of all, lane ganking, like, this lane, it will go back here, you know? This wave is under tower, so the next wave will be somewhere here. So, in that scenario, like, the Fiora will have a really hard time walking up. And then you can kill her very easily. And it also allows you, allows the Pantheon to play really aggressively, of course, you know? So,
Yeah.
you just cover him, and that's... So, there's a perfect scenario to lane gank, and you just didn't even have that option again because you didn't even look, you know? So I'm glad that I wrote that down because this is a perfect example of where you need to be looking. You're just, there's so many things you're missing out on by just not getting the info that you could be getting, you know? And as a jungler, you have such an easy time looking at the map and stuff because you're playing so much PvE.
Yeah.
Ah yeah, here in a second we see where you engage on the Galio. And at this point, like, honestly, understand that you just need to drop this guy, you know? He's 0-3, he's just hard inting, this guy's super fat. Like, and you're not super fed yourself, so and Galio is also kind of a counter to Ekko in a way, you know. He has the magic shield and whatever he gets. Yeah, see, he gets reduced magic damage when he W's and stuff. So just ignore him at this point. Like, get fed elsewhere. Get fed on bot lane. So here you're really indecisive again on where you want to go, and you kind of let yourself get pressured by the stupid pings from the Veigar. Honestly, like, if he spam pings or whatever, just mute him. Like, you're just kind of, yeah, I don't know, trying to babysit him here when you should have just been bot. You know, you could have probably won a 3v3 here, gotten really fat, but instead you just have to use absolutely everything and even go base, you know? Like, almost die as
Terrible.
well. Yeah, that was definitely a very bad decision. Honestly, the fact that you didn't die here was just... like,
Yeah.
if you die, it's just, like, double bad, of course. Like, here you could have even died as well if this guy decided...
Yeah, he could have killed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a very bad decision. When he went for the 0-3 Veigar instead of you with full gold. Definitely interesting. So funny, actually, the way he stands here and he's like deciding who do I go on, and he makes the wrong decision.
He could have died as well. He could have killed me and then got away.
Yeah, that was such a way longer way as well. So those are the kind of people you're up against, you know. That's how you need to think about it, honestly. Oh, yeah, and here I think either if you're really just scared because you kind of don't have ult, you don't have flash. So either start clearing at blue then, you know, because then you want to do blue, Grom, wolves, and just go down. Or just go to Herald right away if you feel like you have a good read on the situation. I think, as you can see, like, going to Herald here right away would have been completely fine. Because Dorm is bot side. So, yeah. And then, I mean, at this point we know. And here is, again, I wrote down, like, first of all, check Raptors. Always, in these situations where we have full info, check Raptors, you know? It's such a small step. Raptors are so quick to take. And if they're up, then you can expect that the rest is up as well, or at least like the Crocs, you know. So I already said this in game. Just like clear these camps first, and then go to get the Herald. And this is part of pushing advantages, you know. Just
Yeah.
understand that taking away these camps is so much, you know. It's literally like deleting a kill of this guy's scoreboard and getting one for yourself. That's really how you need to think of it.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, and it's very noticeable. It's just like there's 8 normal camps on the map, you know, and you could have even gotten the red here as well, of course. So like there's 8 normal camps on the map. If you take away 2 of those, you get 6 of them. He only gets 2. That's percentage wise, you know. You get 75, and he only gets 25. So that's like so much.
Mm. Yeah. I need to invade more, I think. Unless the jungle on the other side.
100%. And then here again, you know, like we have full info on this guy being bot lane still. And like at this point, no matter what would have happened, all the time you spent here, these camps would have respawned 10 out of 10 times, you know? Like in the time we saw him bot lane, these camps would have respawned anyways, like 100%. So you need to go for these kind of invades. You need to go for. And then also small thing I actually wrote down with the Herald here. Like you don't W on the Herald, you know. Like yeah, in this situation it really doesn't matter because nobody's around. But like this W you do it here in a second, just don't, you know. Like wait for someone to show up before you use W. Because W
Yeah.
is a big spell, you know. It's 20-second cooldown for a reason because it's a really good spell. You don't want to waste it in scenarios like this. You want to hold it in case someone actually shows up, and then you can place it, and then it zones away the enemies. So yeah, but you're still doing very fine here, you know. Like yeah, the Jarvan had more impact, but that's like kind of how the matchup goes in a way, you know. The Jarvan is just more of an early game jungler than you, so that's completely fine. And it's not like you inted or anything. You just didn't have as many opportunities. I mean, you did have a few opportunities like the Fiora here and whatever that you didn't take, but you did at least take some of them. And then here is a smaller thing, but actually not even that small, I would say. And it's a very general thing. See, this guy's already in your range. And what do? You start your fight with E. It's a mistake. Like, first of all, I think in this situation, just place your W here anyways, but you don't even need to because you're just gonna one-shot her. Like, always Q here. Always Q, hold your E. For multiple reasons. Like, first of all, your E actually makes this fight a little bit awkward, you know? Not that awkward in this specific situations, but in some situations it can make it awkward, and like oftentimes you will miss your Q and whatever if you E on targets like that. But also just like in case she has flash, for example, or it's a mobile champion, you know? Someone face checks you like this, you always want to Q first, hold your E, and then like look, all you need to do here is Q auto attack, and then you can E auto attack reset as well if you want to do like a really quick combo.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like absolutely not punished, of course, in this situation. It might not always get punished, but just as a general thing. In scenarios where you are in Q range, just Q first every single time. Okay. Yeah, generally, like, yeah, this is not a big mistake, and like, if you want to do something here, whatever, you can start at Wolf, but generally I think it's better to just start at Grump and go down, you know, because that's where you want to end up at most of the time.
Yeah.
Unless you have a very clear plan, you know?
Yeah, I think it's just habit.
Yeah.
Than anything.
It's not like the worst habit, but it's definitely one that, just for like smaller efficiency's sake, you should just break, you know?
Yeah.
And then here you let the Grump reset like a little bit. Again, it's really not, like, this is 0.2% of things you can improve on, let's say, but it's still is such an easy thing to improve on as well, you know. And then here, just like, why are you even fighting this guy? Look at how little. That was a full combo. Literally full combo. I don't even know why this guy flashed. He could have just kept walking.
Yeah.
You should expect that though, you know. Yeah, but that's why you need to press tab, you know. I mean, you are actually someone, you do press tab quite a bit. There's definitely, like, most people that I coach, they press tab way too little. But you also, of course, need to not just press tab, you also need to process the information that you're getting. And the info you should be getting here now is this guy's 2 levels up on you. He's full HP, he has his magic shield up, he's Galio, and you know, so
Yeah.
just like ignore him. Like go to your bot side. I don't know. Look for an invade here. Yeah, you wouldn't have found anything, but it would have been better because like this guy would have never had to flash. I have no clue why he would ever flash. Literally full HP after you burnt your whole combo. I'm just curious. Like, was he so scared of the Veigar catch? I guess like he could have just chilled here, and then even maybe they would have even won with the draw from here. Yeah, actually, basically, and this is what I said with the rocket belt, right? You already dodged it, and then you're just still rocket belt away for no reason.
Yeah.
And you did this another time as well. See, like good reactions, honestly. Like I think a lot of Emerald players would just get hit here, but I don't know why you add on the rocket belt after that. Honestly, like if you have balls here, you just go back in on him really quick. You know, you just Q E rocket belt auto attack reset and then proc passive, and yeah, you're not gonna kill him, but it's better than what you're doing here. You know, I mean, you kind of actually did that, but yeah. So you can see, you can actually see exactly what happened. You know, and you can see that there was no need to rocket belt away.
Yeah, it was pointless.
Yeah, it also didn't cost you much, but in some situations it can cost you, and it seems to also be a little bit of a habit because you did it again another time. And then here definitely look bot. Yeah, also, okay, that was fine that you tried to go for a read here. I think I personally would have went for the read behind the wall, honestly. Let's actually see. Yeah, I understand. I mean, that's fine. The fact that you at least went for it anyways is good. Honestly, like, go for it here, you know? We see him walking in here, so like, just stand in here, see, and then like try to fight him. I think at this point you can actually look to fight him, and especially because he has such a big shutdown, you know? He's worth a lot if you actually manage to kill him. And then here, like, see, here you actually reacted correctly, right? You started with Q. I just don't know why you wanted to get the silver so badly here.
Yeah.
Just take the free kill, honestly. Yeah. Yes, of course it is the ADC, but this guy's still worth full gold, so... And this guy's completely free as well, you know? Yeah. So letting him live here, no reason. And then Sivir is still Sivir, I think she lives here, right? No, you have to flash. So, yeah, you do get it, but it's like... Yeah, it's just not that good. And then... Also, the W you need to... Or you could definitely have had better awareness, you know? The fact that when she pops ult, you know that she's gonna be too fast. You know, we already know she has popped ult here, so... you can have better game awareness... Yeah, like, game awareness and then just place your W further.
I was not expecting the Senna to just run at me and flash. It was really weird. I wish she would have stuck her
for
ADC.
sure, but it was even more weird that you let her live.
Yeah.
You know, and then you flash for this guy here, and like at least you get him. I guess was it at least a new stack? No, you already had that stack anyways. So if you had the stack, then I can see it being like kind of worth, but it was also pretty close as well. I have to say. So like in future, just take the completely free kill that was the Senna here.
Yeah, that was lucky.
You actually live. Yeah, here. Just place the Herald. There is even a world, let's see. How much gold do you have? Yeah, okay, I mean you have a nice buy with the boots. But there is even a world where you just keep jungling here if you need items. You can, you know. And I think also, by the way, like maybe I gave you like the wrong idea. I think for an 850 item like the blasting one, it's basically always worth to go in debt. But for the amp tomes, I think it's only worth if you're doing well. I think you are doing well enough here that you are allowed to do it. It's not a mistake, but I don't think you always need to go in debt for it, you know. So, like, yeah, it's fine. I think in this situation, you actually got kind of rewarded for it overall, but just for the future, I don't think you should always go in debt for like every amp tome. At least not with Dark Harvest. Like with First Strike, as I said, you should, but not with Dark Harvest. It's just like for these big items, especially in the early game, the getting that blasting one plus Dark Seal base is much more impactful than Amp Tome plus Dark Seal. Can often make the difference. Here again, the rocket belt. You know, he
Yeah,
already used absolutely everything. Why do you use your 40-second cooldown like that?
yeah, that's pretty dumb. Now I'm
And
actually
then
seeing it.
also what I wrote down here, even before any of this happened, I think just keep clearing, you know? Because you don't have ult. You don't have ult and you really don't want to die right now, and the Galio is around you as well, so you're probably not gonna get anything done here. You know, if you have ult, you can just look to kill her, but I think actually like going for a kill here without ult, like you're probably gonna die for it, so I don't even think it's worth. You know, like this guy is one-shottable here for sure. And if you're confident in your ability to dodge the EQ of the Jarvan, then you maybe even go for it here, but I think for that to be like a good play, you need to place your W before, and you can't really do that because you don't have info. So I mean you can just place a W here as a read in general, I guess, if you want to face check it. But I don't know if that's something I would personally have done in this situation. But definitely understand, like, at this point you kill the Senna here, you know? Like, with a full combo, you definitely kill her. Just be aware.
For sure.
So if you manage to actually dodge all of this stuff, like, the Galio was also behind, so I think it's very unlikely that you'll be able to dodge everything. Now just, like, clear, you know? Your whole jungle is up. Clear, and then, yeah, as you can see, like, they're gonna start Drake in a second here, so it's fine that you're around there to steal it, but just, like, clear, you know? There's no time to be wasted. You have stuff to do. Then another thing that I wrote down here, like, look to punish this Senna, you know? The way she's walking in here,
Yeah.
you have... Okay, I mean, you don't have the rocket belt, which actually makes it kind of difficult, but you should have it here at this point. And if you do have it up, and she walks up to you like this, you know, you see her on your screen now. Like, look to punish her. At least make a step in her direction and see if she reacts properly. Because I can guarantee you a lot of people in this elo, they don't react properly. You know, like she might do something stupid like stand still and throw her W. And if you react properly then and like E forward and dodge the W at the same time, you rocket belt on top of her, you just one-shot her here. You know?
Yeah.
And these are the things like where you need to look out, what you need to look out for. See, like this guy just stood still for getting the stuff and whatever. If you would have walked up to her here, she would have 100% stood still another half second, throwing her W. And with Rocket Belt in that time, you could have easily just one-shot her. You know, and this is a more difficult scenario to identify than most, honestly. But still, if you manage to actually punish this kind of stuff consistently, you're gonna climb very easily.
Yeah, for sure. This was a lucky steal as well.
Actually, you didn't proc your W here. Definitely would have been much better even. Or did you? No, you did, never mind.
Yes.
I mean, it wasn't that lucky, to be honest. And here also good, the fact that you proc... Small thing I guess you could have done better is proc your passive on the Fiora here. You know, she jumps in your face, proc it, now get the movement speed, and then E over. Yeah, in this situation it wouldn't have mattered, but in some situations where people could have followed you, getting the movement speed definitely would have mattered. And then here I think I would have stayed on the map personally. First of all, you have red buff, but you also don't have too much gold to spend. Like, at this point, look, the more ahead you are, the longer you can stay on the map, you know? You understand why?
Yeah. But I'm stronger. I play
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, you don't... The more even or, like, behind even you are, the more you need to spend your gold to be able to fight anyone. But since you are already kind of strong, you can just stay on the map here, clear these camps, make them respawn faster, and like really get that exponential curve of your gold graph going, you know?
Yeah.
Again, pushing advantages. So it's actually not a big mistake by any means to recall here. I think still I personally would have just stayed on the map here. I mean, you did have a bunch of gold to spend, which also of course helps you clear jungle, and you were a little bit low HP, so I wasn't even 100% sure on that, but so I think in this game, myself, I would have just stayed on the map, even maybe look to take Herald and then recall, you know?
Yeah, I think this is the Herald play.
Oh yeah. This was just a risky Herald, you know? We just saw this guy based, we saw that the Galio had full prior. He actually based, so... But it's still Galio, you know? You can join in fights with his ult. So, he's more ranged than most people. And then I think as soon as the Jarvan spots you, you should probably just even leave. But they didn't even punish you that hard. And yeah, especially because you don't even have ult here. You don't have ult and you have a big shutdown.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
yeah, as soon as the driver spots you, I think just drop it. It's probably like the biggest mistake this game.
Yeah, now I'm watching this game back. I don't think we should have won really. Like, I mean, we're pretty much on the back foot. Pretty
Nah,
heavily
but it's
game.
mostly just mid lane, honestly. Now
Yeah, I
you
guess.
you started doing a lot of stuff later on, honestly. Like, I mean, actually now is where you started doing stuff, honestly. You can see your damage here is very solid with the Nami as well. Again, this rocket belt was not super good, but at least it had like the intention of getting into the W, which I can respect. It was not like the most impactful, and your W placement could have also just been a bit better. You know, it could have been more here.
Yeah.
Definitely, like, just expect it. Like, it really didn't matter, but just expect the Senna W, you know? Then here, like, don't E into him like that, you know? I think you
Yeah.
could have killed him if you don't get hit by the E there. Just play it slower, you know? Like, just... Okay, I guess, okay, if you don't interrupt him here, then he is just gone probably, but... Well, actually, I'm not sure. Maybe you could have caught him. Yeah, you can see, like, this is just not the guy you want to fight. I mean, he is the guy you want to kill because of the big shutdown, but on your own, you should just ignore him for the most part at this point. As I said in game, there's more than enough people that you can kill. And I think this base, as I said, like, I don't think you should base here. Just, like, get the mid tower or something. And then, yeah, we saw this was up. You know? So just take it. We know Jarvan is not here, so just take it. It was definitely like one of the worst bases in the game. It was not like horrible or anything, at least you were low HP, but it's still, you know, like the more of these bases you take, it will add up at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
And the higher elo you get, the more like you will notice how this kind of stuff gets punished as well, or just how much weaker you will feel than others. What even happens here? Oh yeah, again, I think in a second here you just fight the Galio again. See, and like after that, I think I told you just like stop fighting him, and all of a sudden you just started winning the game. Kind of.
I
You
here
know?
I was waiting for Veigar to walk up, but he was kind
And
of
like even if
AFK.
the Vega walks up, look at this guy's items, you know?
Yeah.
And like just understand that Galio is an anti-mage guy, you know? Like he is specifically good
Yeah.
against people that deal AP damage, and
I
then
learned, I learned that.
yeah, so like and he still almost one-shots you at the same time. Well, he doesn't take any damage, so just stay away from him. And like focus on guys like this, for example, you know, that you can
Yeah.
just one-shot basically.
Yeah, Senna was very aggressive this game. I should have punished him more.
Yeah, 100%. And it's so easy to punish Senna as well. At least with the current build that they go for. And then here, like, honestly, you think this guy's not gonna manage to E? Like, this is such a low percentage play.
Yeah.
So just like don't even posture for it. And like the higher the again, like yes, in this elo it might work because people just don't play the game properly, but it's just don't even get into the habit of going for these kind of plays that shouldn't work, you know? Like understand that they shouldn't work. Again, this again kind of in a way, you know, you don't have smite up. So the only thing you're doing here is risking a little bit. For very like yeah, I probably personally would have also went and like seen maybe this guy doesn't have smite or whatever, but still. If you actually get punished for this kind of stuff, which I'm sure you do every now and then it just loses your games, you
Yeah,
know?
that's up.
And then here, like, you actually went over, like, what a savage. You went over when this thing was at 6k HP. Like, bro.
Still managed to steal it.
Yeah, and but again, I think this was not even that worth. I mean,
Nah, probably not.
maybe, like, it's very hard to quantify how much, like, the 5% out of combat movement speed does for you. Like, it might actually do a lot, you know, gold generation-wise, but at least you didn't have a shutdown this time. But still, I think in general, don't go over if the Drake is not low, you know?
Yeah, that was a really bad E.
I mean, yeah, just in general, the decision to go over here was for sure At least you did get the rig. If you hadn't gotten it, then it would have been terrible, of course. Now it was actually kind of okay. But it was just a low percentage play that went in your way, let's say, you know? And you just can't rely on those.
There's a lot of games where I make probably similar plays and
it
don't
just
get
doesn't
any
go
of the
your way.
drinks. Just
Yeah.
die, yeah.
Actually, I was surprised that the Jordan EQ knocked you up here.
Yeah, I think I should use the vision actually.
And I think here, just in the future, just like hard commit on the crab. Try to smite it away and leave, you know? Don't even turn around. Like, just, you will be able to run away if you get it, you know? And then if these guys want to fuck with you, I think you can probably just take on them. But, like, don't turn around here. And in this situation, you even got knocked up anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know. Maybe you can't even burst it down. You're not that strong. But who knows? And now it just kind of sucks, you know. There's not much for you to do, and also you're kind of low, so you also can't look to force too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, here this guy's kind of hunting you. With half HP, you can't really fight him. Yeah, here, like, I think before I told you, right, this is kind of where I told you a few minutes ago, you shouldn't really fight this guy. But of course, right, if your Pantheon is fighting him and whatever, don't completely ignore him. You know, just don't go for these 1v1s that you went for multiple times that you clearly didn't achieve anything with, you know?
Yeah,
so like, in these situations, of course, still posture in a way where you can maybe place a W here. I think it's kind of what you do as well. Yeah, you actually do that, so that's fine. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I thought we could have killed him there if he got stunned before he...
Yeah, but that's an interaction that Draven can always do, right? Can always just pull anyways. He can even pull out of Casio W, for example, with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here you were just kind of indecisive. Your team's pinging for Nash.
Oh, God.
I think you can't, you know, like, you're too far away. Especially, you don't have your DPS as well. Your DPS is dead, so I think going for Nash here would be a mistake. Well, maybe, I mean, you do have DPS at least. You have Nashers. Maybe if everyone actually moves there right away, it might be okay, but here I think just, like, commit to fighting the Fiora. Yeah, I think I would have ulted here. You hit the Q. You can hit a nice ult on her, and your team will be able to follow up. And she's in a 1v4, and you won't one-shot her, but you will get a big chunk of, like, damage on her. I think I personally probably would have committed my ult to that. And now you just kind of split up, let this guy die. And
then come back.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
Just awkward. Yeah, and here I guess at least you look to punish her, but you get hit by everything. You got hit by too many Senna Ws. It's not the easiest spell to dodge because there's like a short cast animation and stuff, but it's a very predictable spell. You know, like every Senna will throw your W or throw her W at you when you jump on top of her like that. You know, it's just gonna happen, so you can react to it. Like the easiest way to react to it is just like don't E on her here right away. Instead, just like again, she's walking way too close. Like no good Senna player would ever do this. So don't even expect that these kind of gifts will be handed to you forever. But at least take these gifts while you can. You know, while you're in Emerald, take these gifts and throw your Q first. Get those stacks going. She will probably be like scared and throw her W, and then you just dodge her with E, proc your passive and stuff, and you know don't have to ult out. Like, did you even get hit by W here? No, you didn't even. Never mind. But still, like, wait, why did you not get hit by W? Why did she just not use it? Oh, you.
Oh, I E'd over it.
No way. That was actually kind of crazy. I mean, that was not planned, but that's
that was
something.
calculated. I did it on purpose.
Okay. Never mind. Yeah, I'm sure. It's actually crazy that way. I need to see that again, because it was such a short like timing window, and I feel like Senna W is one of those spells that usually connects way too easily. I need to slow down. Kinda illegal, let's be honest. But hey, we'll take it. Even if you get hit, you would have been like here. Yeah, I mean you don't kill her here anyways, I don't think. I mean, you also didn't use your rocket belt. Did you even proc passive on her? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
Yeah, if you were quicker with your rocket belt and like proc your passive, then maybe you even one-shot her. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think just look to recall.
Yeah, we should have cleared.
Actually, I wrote down something where I didn't say like 21 minutes something, right? Ah, yeah, here. Take the huge midwave, you know? Nobody else is coming to collect it. You're right around there, you know? Take this wave in the future. Especially after 20 minutes, you don't have any debuffs or whatever. I guess you wanted to get the Drake, but you probably could have done both anyways, you know? You just throw one Q here, get it, and then you can still look to steal it. And then again, we talked about this wasn't even a situation where you should go for a steal. At least not the way you did it. Probably, if you had went for this, you naturally would have been here when this was lower, and then you probably would have been in a better position to, or like in a more like agreeable situation to steal this, I guess. Okay, we saw this. A little bit of indecision. Didn't get punished too hard for it, but you also didn't get done a lot for the fact that you just got the Dwarven and the Galio before.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm backing here.
No, I think backing here is okay, because you get the Nilsi Large Rot. That's like, basing for that is fine, and like, there's not too much you can do on the map anyways. Like, yeah, you could clear your jungle, but clearing this jungle, it won't allow you to get another rot, so leaving it up and getting the rot and like being on the map with it is not too bad. Yeah, here in a second you flash for the kill on the Senna, which I don't think is worth at this point. Not really.
Yeah, I didn't even need to. I don't think, because she died anyway. So it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I think the after that probably would have killed anyways. But even then, like, you probably don't even need to flash, you know? You could have just kept walking. Like, you could have just W'd here very quickly and then, like, kept walking. She's not that far away, you know? I mean, you missed your Q, but still, like, if you had kept your Q as well, then for sure could have followed up. Yeah, at this point, I don't think it's worth flashing for supports, at least. Only if worth flashing for shutdowns.
Yeah.
And then here, like, big mistake, honestly. Why would you ever, like, we see this guy, we have full info on this guy. Why would you ever walk like this, you know? Just walk here. Just walk here, cut off her way, you will catch her, you know? Because see what happens now.
Yeah, she
just walks, you know? And this guy even has a big shutdown, so it was a big thing to miss out on, honestly. And this is such a simple thing as well, just like get into the habit of walking behind people. Ekko's very good at that because he can jump over walls, you know?
Yeah, there was so much stuff that was punishable that I didn't capitalize on.
Yeah. In the future, I guess, I mean, you did that the other time, but like place your W before jumping over. Here you kind of did it at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, at least I didn't see the cast animation, but still, maybe you would have stunned him better. And then here's where I said, like, maybe ult here. I'm not sure if you should, but no, I think it's fine the way you played it, honestly.
Yeah, my plan was to kill the Jarvan and then ult back.
Okay, small thing here again is also just like Q first and then E. It's gonna get you further away, you know?
Yeah.
See, like... Yeah, I think ult at some point here for sure. Like, here... See, because now you're standing still, and like, instead you should be slowing and then Eing, and then you're gonna just naturally be further away. It doesn't really make sense, but like, the way it plays out, usually you should be further away. If you Q first and then E away, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I
don't
think if
know.
that hit, I would have killed him and then ultied, but I think I was dead.
Yeah, it's just too obvious here, you know, the fact that you're looking to ult. So you need to just ult at some point. I think just ult as soon as you're... yeah, now you should ult, because now you will heal a lot, you know? You see the anti-heal was gone from you, so... at that point you should just ult, you're gonna be very healthy, and then you can maybe outplay, or you can at least escape. Yeah, it was a nice try. Sure. And then also in general, wait, like, let me go back. Here, like, after the, like, don't even base here. You're kind of in a position where you can start Drake here, in my opinion. You know? The Pantheon just got the Fiora, she can't TP or anything. and your whole team is around you, so you should be the one. You are very much a reactive jungler in this game. You know, like the Jarvan started every single Drake. In the early game, that's fine, but at this point, I think you can definitely be the one starting. You know, you just force the Sivir away a little bit and this stuff, so don't be too passive in these situations.
Yeah, I really go for Drakes now. I find a lot of other junglers take them very early.
Yeah, I mean, Drake's got nerfed quite hard, so I think it's actually not even that horrible to not focus them, but of course, if you are in a position to take them, you often should, you know? It's just, don't make it too much of a priority to a point where you force and then, like, get into bad situations because of it.
Yeah.
Okay. And at this point, your priority really needs to be to just, like, farm to get Rabadons, you know? Like, as soon as you have those 2 needlessly large rods, there's nothing that you should prioritize more. You really shouldn't even take any more fights unless you're really free before you have Rabadons.
Okay.
And then this kind of stuff you can also look to punish. Like, I didn't even write that down, but you can... Okay, actually, you need to be a little bit careful. This guy's 2 levels up and you might be able to play, but... Like, just look for these kind of things. If you see an ADC on their own on the side lane and they're kind of overextended and you're able to walk behind them, just at least look there, because I know that in-game you didn't look there. And then here I actually wrote down, like... When this kind of stuff is happening, where people are just randomly in mid lane, at least get into positions where you can look to punish, like you're kind of doing here. But of course this is avoided now, but just get into the habit of going on the sides, you know? As Ekko, you generally don't want to be in lane, which I'm not saying you do, but just I'm still mentioning it here. Like always be in the sides, throw W's out and see if people don't react properly, and then if they don't, you can often just engage with your rocket belt and whatever. And like even here, like just stand a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Definitely good. The way you prioritize in this fight is definitely good. I think this was a little bit of a mistake, going on the Sivir there, but not a big mistake by any means. Just prioritize proccing your passive. You know, I think you should definitely look to get the passive proc on the Fiora off. And then maybe even E the Galio when he comes out, you know, of the Zhonya's.
Yeah.
I think that's like a small mistake, because it almost made him escape. Well, not really, but... You know, I think since he's like their strongest member, you should definitely look to maybe kill him as quickly as possible. Although the Sivir actually... Yeah, Sivir and Galio are equally strong, basically. And she's definitely scaling better. And here you're unsure in game if you should even take the Nash. I think you should always take the Nash here. You have a lot of gold to spend, so... Like, yeah, maybe you could have taken the tower and then Nash, but... It's not gonna matter, you know?
Yeah.
Like, just make sure, like, especially in this elo, like, just get the Nash, you know? You don't want to risk anything. And see, this is the kind of stuff you could punish, you know?
Yeah, I did consider it, but I didn't know where the jungle was, so I didn't want to...
So what, at this point, you're like, with ult up, you don't need to be scared. Jarvan is not gonna one-shot you. Like, see, we see that she's auto-attacking, but you just settle for the crap and you could just kill the Senna. You know, place your W here right now. Maybe even let her walk up a little bit more, you know? She's gonna follow the crap like an idiot. Like, just let her walk up until here, place the W, boom, one-shot, you know? Like, don't let her live here. And at this point, yeah, sure, she's just the support, let's say. But first of all, Senna is a very well-scaling champ, so taking her out in the late game is definitely good. And then also, say, like, she's gonna be gone from the map for a long time. And here, punished Jarvan again. He used absolutely everything, you know? You need to be a little bit more in the head of the enemies, and not just the head, like, also just, like, look at the abilities that they've used. This guy used absolutely everything here. And you dodged everything, you know? So why do you keep running? You're 2 levels up on him. You even have the build that's good against him, right? You have the naturals, you have Blighting Jewel as well. So you even shred through some of the MR. Like, just go on him here. Don't be so scared. Yeah, Senna is behind, but Urinami is also behind, so... You will win this for sure. Like, both of you are 2 levels up on the opponent. And that, yeah, Fiora is here, but she's not going to be there quickly enough. You know? You might not be able to fully commit to killing this guy, but at least trade with him. So it's like a good habit you need to be building, you know? Like, just... After you dodge it, just get into the habit of proccing your passive and running. Then this guy will be on the map at least with half HP. You know, like, it's probably not a good decision to fully commit because of Fiora, but there's no reason to let this stuff go completely unpunished. And this is also how you create pressure. Yeah, at the moment you're actually the ones with Nash, right? But you're not really achieving a lot.
Yeah, it tends to happen quite a lot. We get Nash and then the game just goes
Yeah,
stale.
just look. Honestly, it's very simple. Just look at the towers that are like the most outer towers, I guess, and get them first. You know, generally speaking. Here, I guess the top is also like Pantheon should probably be top, or if you have anyone with TP, they should definitely be top right now, and the rest should just be bot.
Mm.
Very simple.
Yeah.
And yeah, here you can see that they can't really contest Drake. I think definitely proc this W in future. I guess you were kind of looking to, but you didn't really. And then again, this rocket belt was just really bad. It was probably like the worst rocket belt because here you're also looking to maybe fight, you know. And then look what this guy's doing. What the fuck is he doing? He's just walking into you without any backup as well. Yeah, like here you definitely want to keep your rocket belt in case someone oversteps. Like it just increases the range of their overstepping so much, you know, when you have the rocket belt available. Then here you're looking to recall, but like why? You need to keep the pressure up. And especially because you have the rep of you will regen.
This was lucky.
This was definitely close, yeah. I don't think you should be going under tower into Galio like that. Here. Again, it's a small thing, yeah, but yeah, and it didn't need to be lucky. You should have just thrown your Q, you know? It's good that you don't do anything super stupid here and run into them, but like, just throw your Q back here. Like, throw it, let it apply the stacks, and then you can just proc your E, and she can only get like one auto off. But instead, you just E into her, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I see that now.
And like, you did this quite a lot, and like, in some situations, it can get punished really hard. Then here is actually good that you don't overcommit to anything stupid. And then also, of course, taking away those camps, as I've said in game already. Very nice, just making sure. And now just like go top. It's so simple, honestly.
Yeah.
And then yeah, this guy is in here, and you're just too indecisive again to just punish him. Because you have this picture in your head probably that Jarvan is not a champ you want to fight, but like why? You're 3 levels up here. This guy is built barely any MR. Like you're not gonna one-shot him, but you're definitely gonna win the fight. So just commit to it really quickly. Be decisive in these situations. And like the easiest way to actually be able to be decisive is to just have the info, you know, and process it. Like press tab constantly, look at the items, and just decide before anything happens. Decide who can you fight, you know. And then as soon as these situations arise, you will know what to do, you know. Now at this point, I mean, he has too much ability. Yes, he's just gonna leave. You probably don't kill him anyways because of that, but still, he doesn't need to be full HP. And then here, I said this in game to you, right? With like, do something, and then you just ran at her. Yeah. But see, like now is where you need to just be happy with that. Be happy with what you got. Be happy with the fact that you got her to like 1 HP and she will not be able to stay, you know? If she stays, you will just kill her as soon as your W is off cooldown again. Like, this is really good. Now, you just dodge the Senna ult, chill, wait for the minions, wait for maybe these guys to do something stupid or whatever, and then, you know, you're just still full HP and you're completely happy. Instead, you just go kind of low, you also have to ult here, and now they can actually do something to you, right? And yeah, this again, like, even more. Really like, there was like the even worse going into the Jarvan again here. Like, after you have ult, and in these kind of game states, you really just need to play way more cautiously. There's no reason.
Yeah, that's the kind of play that can. You mean later in the game? That's the kind of play that can turn the game pretty quickly.
Yeah, very easy fix. Like, really don't just get into the habit of only making these plays with ult up, and especially because ult is not even a long cooldown in the late game anymore. Like, after level 16, it's such a short cooldown. Yeah, I guess here, like, last thing I wrote down is just like, let's see in a second here. Look, you place your W, which is good. First of all, a smaller thing again, place your W from max range, always. When sieging here, You don't even know how many stuns I get. Like, especially when these two towers are standing, I always place my W in between here. Doesn't matter what elo, I get way too many stuns. But just, you know, when you're here, you just click W and Ekko will walk. You know, he will walk into the range and cast it.
Yeah.
So you just do that. At max range, they won't see you casting it. Let's see if they saw you casting it here. They probably didn't look at you anyways, but yeah, see, they could see you casting it. I mean, because of Fiora anyways, but still. The big mistake here is just like the fact that you don't just eat the tower, you know? You have your W here, so nobody can punish you. You just place a W here, you eat it, it's gonna be dead, and then like there's nothing defending the Nexus, you know? Instead, you just kind of go on the Sivir, which is able to kite you, and it becomes a little bit awkward, honestly. Yeah, like this should have never even went to Elder. Elder is actually a big way you can lose games like this, of course.
I honestly thought this was going to be the end of the game.
Yeah, it should have been. But this is such a common thing in your elo and like even lower elos. The lower the elo, the more common this kind of stuff is. But like, you should have been the one making the difference here. Just place W, eat the tower once it's dead. Like literally, probably, just ignore people here. You know. Yeah. That's basically it. I don't think we need to watch anymore. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it was still a good game to learn from, even though you did.
It was a lot.
Like you did a lot of things right, as I said, but still also a bunch of things that can for sure be improved. And yeah, if you have any more questions, you can ask them now.
No, I don't think so. That was a lot of information, so I think I'm gonna have to go back through it a couple times
Yeah.
to pick everything up. But no, definitely a lot of things that I didn't think I was doing wrong, but I definitely was.
But you understood now that you actually saw it now.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely
that's
opens
good.
my eyes.
Okay, very
So-
good.